Hi everyone, it's Jawad here, CEO of Virtua. The reason for this recording is just to have something which is like a cliff notes, which talks about the roadmap and the Medium article that we're going to publish, which shows the 2022 roadmap and the 2023 roadmap. One thing I'll explain, just to put things in context, is Virtua, we created a metaverse back in 2018 with multiple games that we had actually built in-house, along with VR experiences, and our metaverse was underpinned by NFTs. Now, back in 2018, it was too early. So our business as a strategy went into NFT marketplaces to create assets that we would sell as NFTs, but also to use in our metaverse. Because one of the things we understood from any metaverse that existed, all the way from Second Life, is that if you don't provide utility, nobody will come. The intention was, and the intention is, for Virtua to be building a games metaverse, embracing Web 2 and Web 3. That has always been our underlying mission. The roadmaps that we had published in the past and the dev that we were going, the direction of it was based around let's get NFT marketplaces and let's get a brand new NFT marketplace in, which will underpin the experience for the metaverse for people to take their assets into it. Crypto being crypto, in 2022, we saw, you know what? That's a bad idea. What we're seeing is that people are going to marketplaces. If it's ETH, it's OpenSea, but these other companies and blockchains that are coming out actually have their own marketplaces springing up, and all the users and the fans are moving towards those. So, do we really want to spend all the time and effort trying to engineer a Cardano compatible metaverse and a Tezos compatible NFT platform and a Polygon compatible platform and a whatever other blockchain there is, or should we actually let those marketplaces do what they do, which is be a marketplace, and we double down and roll out our metaverse, which can connect to the other marketplaces and connect to ours? We focus all of our work in taking the assets that we've got and making them part of this interactive gaming metaverse that we're building that will allow us to build games and also allow other people to build on top of it with their own gameplay and experiences and their own games. So think of it like the Metaverse OS for gaming, where anyone can come in. And if it's a Web3 game, it's a metaverse and it's NFTs. And if it's Web2, it's a persistent virtual world with DLCs. That's what we're building. And that's why when you look at last year's roadmap and you look at what we've done this year, they don't correlate. And one of that is one of the things that we do. We're so busy building all the time that we don't update enough. We look at the market and we do pivot as things change. It made no sense to double down on the marketplace. We've built an amazing new marketplace, but I don't want to put that live until next year after we've done all the key metaverse pieces. Here we are. Here's the what we've done recently. Cardano Island went very, very well. We launched the claim website with Anvil. We did the land sale. We have a vibrant community, and they are our pioneers to go ahead into the rest of the Virtua metaverse. So now, even in our Virtua main island land sale, those Cardano community are going to become and are a key part of it. What else have we worked on? We worked on land sale incentivization, design, and R&D, and that means how are we going to bring people into the virtual metaverse? Because that's the plan. We're going to roll out the virtual metaverse now, and we're going to start with virtual island, and we are going to roll out a zone at a time. And those zones are all going to have different themes, and there's going to be some islands surrounding it. What are we going to do to try to bring people in? Well, it'll be our prestige club, which was way overdue for a decent overhaul. So we've built out and designed all the new metaverse incentives for prestige. We've designed all the category plots, deeds, gamification around it, the way the plots, deeds have resources, the way the resources work, the way they accumulate, how the crafting works. All of that legwork's been done. We've got degen themes in design. We're working with multiple projects to create themed cribs, spaces, villas in our metaverse. So when somebody has a plot and they put a villa on it, they can have themes and social and hubs around these degen projects will then lead to games. We launched our new updated website, and this is a starter for 10, which is more metaverse focused, which talks about the metaverse games and our marketplace. We've got a completely revamped look and feel for our existing marketplace with some new features. We've worked on this. We've worked on the claim event where people have been able to claim the condo. We've created the condo mechanism. All of the work's been done. And we've also designed the condo V space, which is like the apartment where people can go around and see everything in there. So all the condo work has been done. We also managed to get our mobile apps out. It took multiple submissions and it took a lot of time and a lot of iterations, but now we intend to try to do condo land sales on the mobile app. There'll be much more features being rolled out into it next year, including the ability to have metaverse assets in there, from furniture to cribs to villas, to NPCs, land bots, all of those things running through the mobile application, seeing things in AR, and also having the ability to buy and sell those as well. And we're also introducing another form of currency, which is going to be used as a metaverse currency into the website. I'll talk about that later. Cardano land bots, they went out, they were claimed, very happy with the progress, the design, they were absolutely fantastic. We did our first drop of 1666, which were the paid ones. They sold out in 30 minutes. As much as everyone wants to make revenues, the focus is growing our user base, giving cool stuff to our community, and making it something which is really, really exciting for everyone. It shouldn't be a case of you sell and then you've got your project out and then you walk away. No, you've got to keep giving and providing reasons for people to interact. Next thing, land sale. This is our big one, which is going out on the 12th. All this work has been done, our assets, our monster assets, the cribs, the websites, the sale flow is now different in that there's no deed event and claim event. You can literally go to the map and buy from the map directly, and it'll be randomized on the type of plot that you get. But we've learned from Cardano Island that's the fairest way to do it. Cardano Island cribs, that's actually in beta already. We're expanding the beta this week. And we're also going to be plugging it into the homepage so you can actually see a sample crib running in your web browser straight away to get an idea of the fidelity and what we're doing. So it's about time that the world gets to see what we have, what our metaverse spaces look like. And so there will be a live demo of it as well on our website, but people are actively using it. They're giving us beta feedback. And I think the idea is 1 or 2 weeks after the land sale, around Crimbo time, we go ahead and we have the event where people can claim their crib, and literally you bought land, you're getting your villa on top of it for free. Then you can customize it. So there's no double charging. You bought the land, snapshot your wallet, and here's the villa and different themes as well. The monster zone is going to have some really cool stuff around that side as well. Pacific Rim drops happening. That's something that's going on to the side. That's happening. It's a ETH based drop on OpenSea. We're working heavily on the resource hubs, which is very, very important because once you have items in the metaverse, you're going to want to claim them. And when you want to claim them, you're also going to want to claim your resources. Then, after you do that, the next thing will be crafting. But what we're focusing on is ability to claim first. And then also in January to have like a basic starter for 10 version of the metaverse marketplace where you can go ahead and you can buy and trade assets in the marketplace, but the absolute number one focus for us is the resource hub. Other things, unified sign-in API, because ultimately we have multiple sites, multiple products, multiple third parties who are building tech, and we need to have a unified sign-in. So there's literally one virtual ID which goes across all of the different products that we've got coming out. And there's no point having more than one. So think of it like a Google sign-in or something that will basically allow you to have a portable ID which moves around your products, so you only ever need to sign in once. But also so that we can provide it to third parties so they can use it for their games that they're building for our metaverse. Virtual bots is also going to be a thing. And the other thing that we're doing is that we're building a generative villa builder, because if you look at all the configurations you can have for villas and cribs and everything else, and if we want third parties to go ahead and design villas and condos and cribs, we need a faster way to generate the actual building structure and all the walls and the rooms and the stairs and all of the things that you need, because you can't really do that by hand. If you really want to scale, you need an automated engine, but then the engine, the output, to also allow full customization. So that has been a big stream of development as well. So this is what's been gainfully employing our art team, our dev team, and this is what's going to happen all the way up until the end of January. Now, I'm going to only skim the second page. There's going to be lots more detail, but basically the next year is going to be very focused on making the Metaverse Game Hub more mature, as we're going to have the ability for you to go and craft and the ability for you to claim your resources and then go on quests. And the quests are going to be where we're going to allow really interesting things to happen around the fact that we have a world and not a rectangle. There'll be things you can do, things you can discover, places you can go. And there'll be different quests where you can earn different things in terms of resources and assets. And that's all being built out. It's all be tile based and card based to start with, but as the metaverse builds and builds and builds, off the back of that, you're going to see more and more interaction. But the whole idea is almost like there's a quest happening, a volcano's exploding over on Virtual Island, and it's in the middle of the monster zone. So you need a patrol car, which somebody might own. You need a monster vehicle, and you need someone with a helicopter to copter your robot in, which can then mine the island to get resources that you can then use to craft NFTs. There's really, really cool stuff working on it, and this will be the metaverse hub. So this is where you'll be able to trade, have an in-game currency driven by TVK, very important. You'll have the ability for you to do really cool things in that, as well as your crafting, your furnitures, your assets, your buildings, your cribs, your quests. All of those are going to be driven by us and also by the community. We want people to build furniture and assets and cribs and design them and sell themes, and we want that to be a vibrant marketplace. V spaces are going to be like, think of like a holodeck, which a standard NFT platform user can just go and see and put their items, and that's mainly for mobile users, and it's mainly for web users who aren't really engaged with the metaverse but still want a cool place to have their stuff. They won't get any resources, they won't have any of the in-world benefits, but it's somewhere where they can showcase their items. Mobile native cribs and condos will come next, which will be all the condos and cribs that we are building, and all of that infrastructure to just work as a native installer on the mobile phone, and then mobile V spaces will follow. Metaverse game structure, there's lots of stuff we're doing around that, different buildings which do different things, different structures which can create NFTs, production factories, breeding centers. All of those are fun, interesting ways to use in-game currency, crafted items and resources to create assets in the metaverse. Virtual commerce I won't say much about, but there's so many companies constantly approach us and have approached us asking how can we have a HQ in the metaverse, how can we actually use it for our companies. This is a separate division which is launching as a standalone entity, which is going to be really focusing on B2B. But that's for later. The building generator I've already mentioned. We're going to have more and more iterations of it. We've also got a land generator in the works. I've seen it working. Draw the map, do the GIS, put the roads in, press a button, and it generates a landscape, including the trees and stuff. And then you can then customize it further, which saves us a ton of time. Because if you're building a world, you can't draw it by hand. It's going to take forever. We have to have as much automation in place as possible. So all of this is custom. Lobbies will be launched, which are multiple types of lobbies. We'll flesh those out, but the hubs and the lobbies are very, very important. And you're going to see a ton of functionality, including stores, experiences, social spaces. They're going to be for your games. It's going to be for your brands. It's going to be where you're going to socialize. It's going to connect your cribs to the rest of the metaverse in a sort of central cobweb-like fashion. And they're going to be launching in Q1. The Monster Lobby will launch first. The Virtual Hub will then launch. And I believe these two are two of the most important features, and we're going to do our level best to get them out earlier. We've got our human avatar builder as well, because we have our VFlex, but a lot of people in these different experiences and brands and games want something more humanoid, as well as the NFTs. And so this is going to allow that to happen, but they're going to also operate as NPCs, and they will also operate with additional functionality. So we are doing an integration with Ready Player Me, and that's really, really important. But there's also going to be avatar features that we need that will be metaverse specific, and that's what these avatars will provide to people in our ecosystem. And that also leads to, can I customize my avatar? Can I create it? Can I mint it as an NFT? Can it do certain things? Can I use it in certain games? Will it provide this level of functionality? What are its skills? There'll be a whole bunch of stuff. Then the gaming track is underneath, where we've got metaverse games that we're building out and different zones that we're building out. We've got the stainless game, which is being worked on right now. Go check out the trailers. It's phenomenal. Incredible team building it. It's going to be one of the first AAA titles by a AAA team, instead of like a new bunch of developers saying we're making a AAA game. These guys have made AAA games before. Also, we've got land rollout with features, structures. There's all sorts of land zones coming out, islands coming out, and features coming out. And everyone's going to have a different economy and a different way it works, with an underpinning theme but we do intend to experiment. So if you've got a major brand who wants their own little chain of islands, it's around that brand, and they will operate that themselves, not us, because we want people to build on top of our metaverse. Games, brands, content, it has to be through the community, has to be people building on top, has to be developers building on top of what we have, because we want people to come into our metaverse to play 100 games. 95 of them should be from third-party developers, and that's what we're working towards now. And those games will drive the economy, it will drive people in the world, it will give a reason for people to come back. Games are absolutely a key part of our strategy, and we're going to be doing a bunch of hackathons next year to encourage and bring in new people to develop on our platform. Mid-year, we're going to upgrade our entire technology stack. This brand new NFT platform I talked about, that will get it online. All the underlying technology will be upgraded. It's something that's happening in the background, but it's plumbing, and nobody cares about the plumbing. Then we're going to do point releases and have more utility tools come out to the community. And that's sort of what we expect to be for our roadmap for 2023. And this is way longer than I expected this to be, but hopefully you'll find it informative.